Hey, what's up guys? Derek Lambert here. I'm on the phone with CG Kid. I'm gonna do my own experience series on a topic of variety of drugs that I've had personal experience with. Is it all right with you, CG, if I do that kind of topic, bro?
For sure, bro.
All right, man. Yo, check it out. Driven Industries. You okay with me running with my Xanax experience video? You've inspired me, bro. I just want your permission if that's cool with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude.
Cool. Well, I got you on camera, bro.
No, I'm all for it. In fact, when I talked to CG Kid, he had brought up like the adderal one, and I go, dude, I love that you did that video because it shows both sides. Because I'm not like all pro like Xanax and Adderall unless it really truly works for you and it's monitored by your doctor and all that, and that there are massive negative side effects to it, and you gotta know both sides.
Well, look, everybody heard that. Thanks a lot, bro, and I appreciate you giving me that tip. Subscribe and like his stuff. It's on the screen. This is what his YouTube looks like, and go and hit like and subscribe. Check him out. 3.5 years clean, everybody, and I'm trying to do a series, if you will, on my experience with, depending on whatever that drug substance is. Today we're going to talk about Xanax. I have had a limited amount of time of experience with Xanax, and I'm going to tell you all that I've experienced with it and how, what the effects were, etc. with me. I am a drug addict. Not everybody's the same as me. Genetically, they weren't raised in the same environment. They haven't had similar or maybe identical traumatic experiences. They may not have the same household and upbringing. There's a variety of factors that can play its role. I've seen people who get addicted to uppers and then others who hate the uppers and love the downers, etc., etc. So it really depends on who you're talking to. There's a lot of science behind some of this stuff, and I want to say that up front because I was actually inspired to do this Xanax video by the YouTube creator Driven Industries. Okay, go check him out, give him a like, subscribe. Great guy, really wears his heart on his sleeve, and I really enjoy his content. He's all about helping with suicidal awareness and really letting people know that it's okay not to be okay. You'll hear him say that a lot because I think that's extremely important. We're not always okay. And he has prescribed them. He's very transparent and vocal about his prescription, that he has prescribed Xanax. Now for me, being an addictive person that I am, I would be afraid to be prescribed Xanax, my own personal experience. And let me tell you why. A long time ago, this is years ago, and I say a long time ago because I am not familiar exactly when in my run of addiction in terms of the opioids and everything else with the alcohol, where this all fits in. But I knew some friends who said, man, don't do it. They woke up the next day, their car's all beat up. I'm not exaggerating when I say windshield blown out, tire flat on the rim, in the driveway, insane stuff. And I said, wow, if you can't remember all of those type of events, that's got to be a powerful thing. You know, it's really interesting how people could forget and wreck into vehicles while driving their car and come home and not even know about it. Almost reminds me of the movie Wolf of Wall Street, where he's driving his Lambo and he was on the Quaaludes and he's wrecking into everything, and he gets back to his house and next morning the cops are like, what happened last night? Well, that's kind of the picture and what happened, if you will, with my friends' experiences. I had tried a Xanax when I was at a party one time. I just swallowed it. I wasn't snorting medicine at this time, and I was just swallowing it. And when I did, intensified the high of the alcohol. And I remember really just feeling extremely happy because it made me happy. There was a lot of things that were beneficial to this. Didn't have a problem. I guess you'd say there were small little blackouts, but was that the alcohol or was that the Xanax at that point? Because I'm an alcoholic, and I figured that out as I've blacked out throughout the years. A long time I did a lot of blackouts. So was it the alcohol or should I blame the Xanax at that point? I found myself when I was in Afghanistan, we would be able to get alcohol. We would take the alcohol from packets because we worked over there, and we would drink this alcohol, and I came across some blue footballs, as they call them, in the Xanax world. And I remember at this point, I had snorted plenty of medicine. So I snorted some of the Xanax, and, you know, me and my brother Kurt were over there, and I was drinking vodka. And I remember blanking out, just remembering pictures. That's all I can remember is like pictures. It was a spotty night. So that was another time I had a Xanax experience. Mind you, I didn't pick up and keep going with the Xanax. It was like periodic in my life. And then there was a time where I met this female, and me and my wife were having our separation issues, and I had all these pink, I don't know if they call them pink footballs or not, but I know they were pink Xanaxes. And they were like 1 milligrams, if I'm not mistaken. And I would drink and I would snort some of this Xanax. And I remember it made me feel very, very good. But I did it for about 3 weeks every day. And at the end of the 3 weeks that I was doing this every day, I remember meeting back up with my wife. We were trying to make things right and work things out. And I laid with her that night, and I realized when I had cramped up, my entire body cramped up, I locked up, I lost all control of my upper and lower body. It was a severe emergency type situation. And in that moment of being locked up, I asked her to get me water. She brought me a glass of water. I drank a second glass of water and went to sleep. The whole bed was soaked from sweating. The whole night, the whole bed ended up soaked. And I thought to myself, was that the Xanax that was, causing me to sweat, or was that the alcohol? I can't remember if I drank that night. And so once again, was it the Xanax or was it the alcohol? My experience with the Xanax was that it made me feel really, really good, but it made me tired. It also made me extremely relaxed. It made me want to go lay down. And I would forget short-term memory doing the Xanax. So I could only imagine for somebody who's doing a Xanax or a few Xanax bars or, lots of footballs or whatever, doing that and then going and doing whatever they're doing and forgetting, it makes perfect sense to me. Now, the fact that they say that these are deadly to come off of, that's a scary place for me, because I was addicted to alcohol and I drank it, not over long-term years like 10 years or anything like that, where an alcoholic who's used to doing alcohol has. But I can't imagine trying to withdraw off something that'll kill you. And I know that if you withdraw off heroin, it's possible somebody can die, I suspect, but it's not likely that they're going to die from the withdrawals off of heroin. Not statistically speaking, but definitely off of like benzos or getting off of alcohol. How would that be? And my hat goes off to those who are able to maintain and use a substance in their life is perfectly fine. But I make this as a journal for myself as well as anyone who relates to what I'm saying. I don't know how to use these substances like a normal individual. And this may be the fact that I am just genetically different, traumatically different. There may be other elements that make me different in terms of this substance abuse, but it's also the fact that this might be a substance that if I were to pursue, I would be locked in. I wouldn't be able to stop. That's a big concern of mine, especially one that can kill you trying to withdraw from. So if you're one of those who's on Xanax and you found yourself addicted and you need help getting off, reach out to a medical professional. Please do. Don't try and withdraw by yourself. You definitely want to go to a hospital and speak to a professional because they're not to play with. I know this from my father telling me these things, being he's a medic. You definitely want to go in and see a professional and be, if you will, detoxed through them, because they can make sure during this process you have the right chemicals and that you're getting the correct balance in your body doing this. My father's detoxed plenty of times from alcohol with near-death experiences, so please, if you will, check into a medical facility of some sort and seek medical help. That being said, Rewired Addiction is the website. Come check us out at the Discord. I have a lot of people who reach out and they don't realize that it's all free. Please come to the Discord. It's down here in the description and you guys can come and talk to us, talk to me. If not, reach me out on Facebook Messenger. I have an Instagram. You can get me on Twitter. We also now have a Reddit. So we have all these platforms and ways of communication so you can access me and find out more. I love y'all. Derek Lambert, rewiredaddiction.com.